Chopping it up with G and Z. Chopping it up. 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 Chopping it up with G and Z.
Hey, what's going on? We got a special episode of Chopping It Up with G and Z. Just a little time to share our thoughts on a very eventful weekend at the Oscars. And some I don't know, man. Did anything happen that we missed? What we missed?
Nah, man.
Nothing?
It wasn't really nothing. I heard there was some good UFC fights this week, but I totally missed them all. And me and my wife watched an amazing boxing match on. It was like on ESPN. Like, was it like Saturday Night Fights or something crazy on ESPN? But it was like amazing.
Bro, I think I saw a UFC fight this weekend where it was like,
Yeah, they said it was
back
all
and
knockouts.
forth.
Yeah, they said it was
Oh,
like
my
all
Lord,
knockouts.
Jesus.
Yeah, I totally missed that.
It was crazy. It was great. It was literally, yeah, it was crazy. I don't even know who it was. All I know is two dudes in there just going at it.
Yeah, they said it was
And
like
so-
brawling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
All right, man. So other than that, I don't think there was too much that happened this weekend.
No, man. We sat around,
What's-
played on this Oculus, man, and watched probably, I think we watched maybe like 6 episodes of Bel Air.
Oh, so y'all really into it now?
No.
Yeah.
We
No?
watched them because
Okay.
we didn't have nothing else to watch, but yeah.
Well, speaking of Bel Air and the Fresh Prince,
Uh,
I guess our initial thoughts and reactions to this whole thing that's going on right now. If you've been living under a rock and you don't know, the Oscars last night, Will Smith ended up slapping Chris Rock after a joke was made on behest of his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, in which to really get the gist of everything. So Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's hair being all the way cut bald, just basically saying, hey, I would love to see your new G.I. Jane movie role or whatever come out. Wasn't a good joke, but I mean, when I first heard it, I didn't really think too much of it. But apparently Jada Pinkett Smith did. Will took it personally, went on stage, slapped him in front of everybody, live television. And it's been the talk of the town ever since. I put it up on my Facebook post, like the slap the world, the slap that the world has seen and heard from here around.
Yeah.
So man, we just gonna do a little quick, get into our initial thoughts about this. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it a little bit. And you know what I'm saying? It's been interesting to say the least to look at all of the hoopla and talk surrounding it. So we're gonna give our 2 cents and call it that.
Bro,
So
I'm
first,
about to say I always go first. You go first. How you feel about it?
hey, okay. Well, so first we're gonna do our initial reactions. Right?
Okay.
So my initial reaction was no way. I didn't see it live.
Yeah.
So me and my wife is sitting down and she actually gets a text message from a friend like, hey, did you see what just happened with Will Smith in the Oscars, blah, 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 blah. Because I was actually watching some NBA games and kind of going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ended up turning it on there, and then I ended up seeing, like most people probably saw it on social media. And I thought it was actually part of the act. I think like most people did, like, whoa, this can't be real. And then I really didn't feel like it was real until they show Will Smith basically saying, you know what I'm saying, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, he's for real about this. And then, man, all I could think about was, this is absolutely crazy, insane. My initial reaction was, Will Smith and lost his dang on mind. My wife said the same thing. Like something is like literally wrong with Will Smith right now. You can tell by looking in his eyes. Something is not right about that man.
Okay.
And so I thought about my initial reaction, because I went through the book. I don't know if you remember me texting you when I was going through the book.
I remember
the book that he released.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, there's some interesting stuff in the book, but there was also some like weird stuff in the book. I mean, because Will didn't, he's like an open book, and he just was laying all kind of stuff out in his book. But the one thing he laid out was the issue that he had surrounding his father growing up. And you know what I'm saying? And I immediately thought about that. Like, okay, yeah, I think a lot of this stuff is just creeping back up in him or something. Something's going on. Something's boiling over, because it wasn't just a Chris Rock joke to me that would just make him go off the handle like that. And, I thought about that a lot since we've had 24 hours to kind of mull it over. I've been like, yeah, that's pretty much probably what's going on. Because like in the book, he talks about feeling like a coward because he saw his daddy basically abuse his mom.
And he didn't do nothing.
He didn't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always plagued him, so forth and so on. And I feel like this is the one time where he could atone for all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's abusing somebody I love right now, or I see the pain in my wife. So I want to actually, you know what I'm saying, kind of be aggressive with it and so forth and so on. But I'm going to tell you right now, the first thing I thought of was he's wrong. You're wrong for this, period. Point blank, period, man. And we'll get into the public reactions later, but that was my first initial thoughts, man, was like something is wrong with Will Smith. Something is really off with Will Smith right now. So what was yours?
Man, so we probably in the same thing. I think my wife was cooking and she done already fussed at me for not starting the Oscars. She was like, record the Oscars tonight. I was like, man, we don't even really. I was like, okay, I'll record them, but I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the Oscars. What's gonna really happen? But so we were doing something, man, and she was like, turn on the Oscars. And I was like, what? And she was like, Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock. And I was like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? So at this time, like Facebook starts kind of going crazy. When I get on there, and the first time I seen it, I was like, they playing. I was like, Will Smith, like he was laughing when he said the joke.
Yeah.
And then when he slapped him, he like smiled walking off. And I was like, And Chris Rock was like, wow, Will Smith just smacked me on live TV. And I was like, seems like a setup. Then I seen the that Japanese version that I sent you, where Will Smith was like, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. He said, I will. And he said, no, keep your. I was like, oh no, he hot. I was like, oh, he mad. I was like, and then when I heard his tone of voice, I was like, oh no, he's upset for real. Like this is not no joke. And then the more I heard it, the more I heard the hit. Like he was like a blues. I was like, whoa. Then I seen the open hand, and I was like, he did not slap this man. Like, bro, I would rather you punch me than slap me. So after I got over the initial thing, man, I was just like, like he defended his wife. So I'm not gonna say nothing negative about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, at some point, man, you gotta know when you say something about a man's wife, man, you might have to see that man. And if you're cool with seeing that man, then say your jokes. You know what I'm saying? Say your little jokes. You know what they say when your little jokes, whatever it is. But maybe that's what has to happen too. Yeah, like, bro, like sometimes if you feel cool enough to go out here and say what you're gonna say, then you might have to deal with it. And my thought is like, so today on Facebook, I seen like a lot of posts, obviously, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, like everything's going crazy, Twitter. And I seen this thing where like in 2015, like Chris Rock had this long monologue where he was talking about Jada and Will Smith boycotting the Oscars. And he was really like, well, they didn't invite y'all no way, and blah, 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 blah. And it was like, So, I mean, not to say that like he was holding on to that. And maybe he was like, you know what I'm saying? Chris Rock just said something. I ain't really feeling him. Then he said something again. And maybe he was just like, no, you know what? I need to slap him. Or maybe he was just in the moment and he felt like, if you seen her face, like when he said the joke, because they were laughing a little bit. And then when he said the joke, you could hear the crowd go like, ooh. And he was like, no, you could immediately Chris Rock like started, that's not even bad. Like so-and-so. So you could see that he made a bad joke and it was in terrible taste. And then like Will Smith laughed and then they showed Jada's face and her face looked like, and I don't know if he seen the face at the same time, but like something snapped. And he was just like, you know what, man. And then he walked up and smacked him. And I was like, well,
yeah. Yeah, man. Okay. So yeah, our first initial reactions were, bro, this is crazy.
It's crazy.
I mean, because we were going back and forth like, did this really it's for real. He just slapped that man. This is absolutely insane,
bro.
And the fact that he actually turned around and walked off like Scarface was like, I mean,
did you see how close he was sitting to the stage?
Yeah,
bro. Like, so Questlove won an award for the Summer of Soul, that documentary. I don't know if you watched it, but it was a great documentary about like the Harlem Soul Festival.
I heard about it.
Bro, it was great. You know what I'm saying? And Questlove won like immediately after. Questlove won an Oscar, and on his way walking to the stage, Will Smith hugged him, and Chris Rock was still. Chris Rock did the presentation for the documentary, so Chris Rock is like 5 feet away from Will Smith. Will Smith hugs Questlove, and I'm like, bro, they are right next to each other. And bro, it was, to me, that was ooh. Chris Rock's restraint,
man. Okay, so now that we've had 24 hours to actually mull in everything over the initial shock, there's a lot of stuff to unpack from everything because, like you, a lot of people were talking about 2016 when Chris Rock said something about, the Smith family, but that was basically in response to them because Jada Smith said he needs to be fired or whatever the case is, or he don't need to go there, but he was like, no, I'm still gonna do the show. And she was like, he need to be fired or whatever the case is. Whoop-de-woo. So that's when he came back with the joke.
Did she say he needed to be fired, or did she say they were boycotting and she wanted him to boycott too because all the black people were boycotting?
No. What I'm saying is she asked him to boycott and he said no. And that's when she came back and was like, well, he needs to be fired or whatever the case is. Whoop-de-woo. Okay. Or, you know what I mean? Like, just, my thing is this, man. So I think what gets left out a lot too in all this talk, because everybody's talking about Will, a lot of people weren't really talking about Chris, and a lot of people, well, I won't say a lot of people, but some people just weren't talking about Jada. Mm-hmm. And I saw something today, man, and it hit me in my soul, bro. I swear it hit me in my soul.
All right.
But I guess we can get to the public reactions now, because the public reactions have really just been all over the map. So people are finding themselves on one side of the issue or the other. Mm-hmm. Like people are like, oh, Will all day, you know what I'm saying? Defend your wife. And then some people are like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I don't support any kind of violence like that, blah, 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 blah. And then some people are like, Chris Rock, I don't see anybody really defending what Chris Rock said in the joke.
Nobody.
I don't think anybody found the joke very funny. But at the same time, people are defending the fact that Chris Rock is a comedian. So just like any comedian, their jokes are usually based on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want to call it demeaning or whatever the case is, when they are going in on somebody, they go in on that person. That's their job. That's what they do. So, but I saw something today, man, and I swear this was probably one of the best public reactions I saw. And it was basically saying the fact that I know everybody's talking about Will defending his woman's honor, in this case, defending Jada, but I've never seen Jada defend Will's honor in this public setting, in this public forum. And I swear I had to think about that for a second. I ain't gonna lie, man. I agree with that. Like, dude, everything she's done with the red table talk, none of this stuff would be out there if she wasn't putting all this stuff out there for the public to see. Man,
I agree with that.
Bro, I'm just saying, like, everything from the Tupac conversations about, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, Pac, to the entanglement issue that came up, to just all this stuff. And keep in mind, she was flaunting the dude in publicly. You know what I mean? Like, this is your son's friend. Like, bro, yeah. So bro, I had to take that and be like, oh, they have a very good point right there.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, man, I am very. I'm just gonna come straight out, man. I gotta say, man, I am very disappointed with all the Will Smith backing. I just don't understand it. I mean, this man literally slapped Chris Rock for making a joke at an award show, live TV. Now, man, if we were 15 years old, 16 years old, then yeah, you know what I'm saying? I understand. We still young. You know what I'm saying? Like we were just talking about the other one on Kanye. Kanye doing all this stuff in public, stalking his, you know what I'm saying, ex-wife in public, doing all this mess. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of stuff 15, 16 years old. Okay. But these men are 50 years old plus. Bro, get up and do the honorable thing and go backstage. You see your wife is hurt by this. Okay, I understand. Nobody wants to see their wife hurt over a joke. Get up, go to the backstage and be like, hey, Chris, let me holler at you. Bro, my wife didn't like that joke. I'm gonna give you a chance to say something right now. You can apologize to her or you can apologize to this fist. Whatever the case, whatever you want to do to say that, but don't do that in public like that, man. That just, to me, that puts a stain on your whole family. It's going to be a slap on your character. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to slap the man, by all means, I understand that, but don't do that in that form. You get what I mean?
I hear what you're saying.
When I saw people like just defending it surprised me. I ain't gonna lie, it surprised me because I was like, everybody should be able to see that and be like, no, that's not. You know what I'm saying? That's not something we do as grown folk. I can understand if you're young folk and you make a decision, and because Lord knows we've all done stupid stuff. We've all, you know what I'm saying, let our emotions get the best of us. But when you turn 40, 45, 50, bro, you got to handle things differently than that. Come on. So that was my whole, when I saw the public reaction, that was my reaction to the public reaction. Like, really?
Yeah.
So your thoughts, man, because I know we disagree on this. So
yeah, so I definitely I see your point. So I'm not gonna say like you have a crazy point. I definitely see your point, but I disagree. Like I said earlier, man, like bro. So then they asked Chris Rock, I guess, and he was like, well, I didn't know she had alopecia. Well, bro, as a comedian, you're supposed to research, right? All the I think that's what we like Dave Chappelle, because he's smart in his comedy, right? He researches his subjects, he hits them from every angle. So like if you're gonna do smart comedy, like what you should be doing at this age, you should know what you're saying. You shouldn't just I mean, you know, whatever.
Okay.
So my thought is
so quick question.
Okay.
If you went to a Martin Lawrence or Eddie Murphy show and you and your wife sat up front, and Eddie Murphy just decided to go ham on Leak, like just whatever he decided to do. You have with this logic, man, he should have did his research on you and your wife, and because he didn't,
my wife is not a public,
getting up there and slapping Eddie Murphy.
My wife is not a public figure, and that's the difference.
I'm just saying.
No, but it's a difference though, and you can't lump it all together, because my wife hasn't been on TV for the whole year telling people how she's been struggling with this medical issue that she has.
I didn't even know. Did you know before this?
I knew that there was a reason she kept her hair short, and my thought is like, did your wife know?
I mean, not until somebody said something online.
Well, see, my wife knew.
We don't follow it, so.
Yeah, my wife knew immediately. She was like, "Ooh, you know, she's been struggling and saying stuff publicly about her struggling with like that alopecia and her dealing with it." So, and the words that she used, it's been a terrorizing experience. It's been like, if you even see the way that she describes it, if you see how her describing her going through this situation, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'd have to punch him in the face." If my wife feels terrorized about something, that's what has to happen. You hear me? And I know, like, you know what I'm saying? I know we're younger, and so you might not. Have you ever seen, and this is totally probably left, but have you ever seen Too Short in Oklahoma? Too Short came to Oklahoma City in like 1988. Did what Too Short does in the front row. They said a dude told him, like, bro, I'm not here for that. And so he said, Too Short looked him in the face, blah, blah, blah. and went into his thing. Said they was like cool. Said when Too Short got finished with his, and I'm not there. This is just what I heard. You know what I'm saying? But from what I understand is when Too Short got into his limo at the end of the night, the dude was in the car waiting for him.
Okay, but that's
and said Too Short has not been to Oklahoma since. That was like 1988. You hear me? And my thought is like, bro, when you say something like, bro, I understand us going to, like, if we go to a DL Hughley show, bro, he roasts people. You hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to sit in the back. I'm gonna try my hardest to sit in the back. I'm gonna try to sit inside. If I luck up or I'm unlucky and I have to sit in the front row, I'm gonna have to grin and bear it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hope he don't say too much about he might say something about my wife and I might not like it. But if he do something too much, they might have to just pull me off the stage. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
or just get up and leave.
Or you could get up and leave too. But I think
if you don't like, just get up and bounce. But okay, so and I said this, man, because you know my thought is just simply this, man, because you know we talk about, you know what I'm saying, the P's being a husband, right? Protect, provide. So that the big thing is protecting your wife, right?
Yeah.
And my thing is this, man. So if we are out in public, let's say me and my wife go to a restaurant, you know what I'm saying, and we out eating or whatever, and some dude decides he wants to go in on her, some strange dude, some stranger, whatever the case is, he decides, yes, I am going to protect my wife. I am going to be like, dude, you got a problem? You want to talk to my wife like this? This is not cool. You know what I'm saying? And if push comes to shove, then yes, we will be having some fisticuff problems.
But so what if you had seen the dude before and he done talk crazy to your wife and I'm not saying we don't know what happened, but like what if Will Smith had pulled him to the side last time and was like, bro, don't say nothing about my wife again.
Oh, no, see now that okay.
Bro, for him to say what he said and the way he said it, keep my wife's name out your, like, bro, that to me that don't seem like a one-time thing. That seems like that comes from somewhere.
Hey, well, if that's the case, then he need to actually say that. then yeah, give me some backstory, not just 2016 backstory. You know what I'm saying? Like, make this one of them things where, yes, I had a conversation with Chris like a year ago. You say one more thing about Jada and I'm slapping you on sight. Then yeah, Chris deserved it because Chris knew before you make this joke, homie. Remember, you know what I'm saying? Remember what was said. Remember the warning. You know what I mean? So I get that. Yeah, that part I would actually be like, I'm on the Will side, man. I still would say take you backstage though. Don't do this because he took away from everybody.
I don't think it took away from
nobody.
Anything.
Know. I
don't think it took away from anything. Like, so man. If that wouldn't have happened last night, I still wouldn't have known nothing about nothing. I would have known Questlove won Oscar for the documentary, and Will Smith won the Oscar for the best actor. Outside of that, I didn't pay no attention. Somebody probably could have told me that Megan Thee Stallion was on the remix of the, you know what I'm saying, the song that everybody sing from the Disney movie. But outside of that, I wouldn't have cared about that award show anyway. So to me, he didn't take anything away from it. He still won his award. When we look back in history, it's still going to say 2022's best actor, Will Smith. So I don't see like a tarnish on his name or a stain on whatever, man. He was a man defending his wife, and I'm never going to tell a man how to defend his wife. If you felt that was necessary for you to go and slap a man, bro, that's on you. That's between you and your wife. And if that's how you wanted to protect your wife, and I'm never going to say nothing bad about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. To me, there's got to be some type of boundaries out there. You just can't go slap people on stage. I just feel like,
who says I can't? Because if that,
who says I can't? I'm just saying, because I mean, basically, man, we setting a precedent, right? We setting a precedent that anytime this happens, no matter where you at, no matter what the situation is, because I mean, let's be honest, man. This is Will Smith doing this. This ain't you and me. If I'm at work, I have decorum that I have to do while I'm at work. So if I walk in somewhere and I'm on the clock and something is happening, like say if me and my wife decide to take lunch and I'm at work, you know what I'm saying? I'm walking out about to clock back in, whatever the case is, whoop-de-whoop, and this stuff happens. I have decorum I gotta follow. I can't just do this out in the public sphere like this. I have to be like, you know what? Let me talk to you or let me holler at you on the side. Whatever the case is, we'll do. I'm gonna get at you. I can't do it right now, but I'm gonna get at you. You know what I mean? Like there are ways to actually do it where it's not like this.
Dude,
I mean, come on, man. Like
I'm the highest paid actor.
Imagine
I'm the highest
seeing,
paid actor in Hollywood. If
Yeah,
I
you-
feel like I've been disrespected, I can slap a man on sight. Who gonna tell me no?
Well, that's true. That's what I mean. That's the Will Smith thing right there, man.
Who gonna stop me?
Who gonna check me?
Who gonna check me, boo?
Oh man, and there's another angle to this too, man. So, like I don't know. It kind of tripped me out because I'm seeing so many different reactions, especially from different celebrities, man. But so, I didn't even watch it to see that P. Diddy stepped in and said something.
Yeah, and it felt very. Let me join it. I mean, he was there for a reason, obviously, but you know how, man, Puffy, it's just something that don't seem genuine to me, man. And I just every time he do something, I think he has a ulterior motive involved. Yeah, so it didn't feel genuine to me. Then he was like, you know, they made up last night at the party. Like, why they ain't say that? Why you say that, Puffy? Like, Puffy, go sit somewhere, man. You annoying.
Let them come out and say it.
Yeah, like
so
you know how it's just like I feel like Puffy feels like he always has to insert himself in something and say something. Like, bro, hey, I'm shocked just like y'all was shocked. Hopefully we can work it out. But like, bro, you don't have to be like, you know, we gonna talk about it. Will and Chris, we gonna talk and we gonna so and so, and then you come back later and be like, yeah, they worked it out. Like, bro, I don't want to hear that from you. I want to hear that from Chris Rock. Let Chris Rock tell me, like, you know what, we talk.
Well, you know what's crazy too is because we're taping this right now, and it's 9:45. Will Smith has just tonight, literally, put out a statement apologizing straight to Chris, because that was the other part of it that to me was just off. Was his not only did the slap happen, but he wins the Oscar, and he has to get on stage and give an actual speech.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about the comeback speech?
I think he
just too wrapped up in raw emotions still.
I thought he was super raw in emotions, man. But I think it speaks to what kind of person he is, because I think a regular person would have got up there and been like, you know what, if I have to slap everybody in this room, I will slap him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think he went on stage and he didn't really justify slapping Chris Rock, but he kind of explained like his thought pattern. And like showed you what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a protector of my family. When we was on this movie set, I protected these girls and I protected this woman. And when it comes to my family, I want to protect this and this and that. And then he also said, and in my life, in this life that we lead, you know what I'm saying, we're disrespected a lot often, and we have to deal with it and we have to take it. And I don't want to take it. You know what I'm saying? Or like, and I thought I don't think he got into specifics because he felt like he didn't know how it would go. But I think he wanted to explain like kind of his train of thought and where he was. And he did a very good moment of being like, man, I am where I'm at in my life today. You know what I'm saying? So he apologized to the Academy. He apologized to everybody in the room. He didn't specifically say Chris Rock, but he made a decent apology. I thought it was decent at the moment, especially knowing that he was in so much, he was going through so much. And then the totally off subject, and this could probably be me thinking like left field thinking, but he was like, Denzel Washington grabbed him and hugged him and was like, the devil gonna attack you at your highest moment. I was like, so did he just call Chris Rock the devil? No, maybe. No. All right. Anyway, so, but like, I thought that was the best that he could do at that moment, to not really like to apologize for what he did, but kind of explain why he did it.
Man, so like I said, there's so many different angles to this, man. And I gotta say again, bro, one of the things, man, and this, I'm about to get into some real stuff right quick. So one of the things, man, that I am still learning to this day, but one of the things that I feel like I've gotten better at is as a man, I think the more mature we get, the more we learn how to handle our emotions. To me, that's what makes a man a man. And it's one of those lessons that I wish I would have learned at a younger age, is how to not control your emotions, because sometimes your emotions, they can be random. I mean, if you've never felt depression before, if you've never felt hurt before, when you first feel hurt, then you don't know how to manage that. You just, oh my God, I don't know what the heck I'm feeling. If you've never felt heartbreak before, the first time you feel heartbreak, it's going to be a shock to your system. But as a man, you need to learn how to control your emotions. And I feel like this is just flying in the face of all of that. And so I saw somebody talk about that today, and it just really, it really hit home, man. Like, dude, because I mean, that's one of the first things we need to do. And I feel like if we did that more, then we wouldn't be having some of these young cats. Go talk to some of these young cats that's been locked up for 20 years and tell them this is the life lessons that I wish you would have learned a long time ago. They probably be like, man, I wouldn't be locked up right now if I learned how to actually control my emotions. I wouldn't have gotten a fight because somebody stepped on my dang on sneaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, control your emotions as much as you possibly can. You don't want them to control you, because that's how you get in trouble. I don't know, man. Anyway, that's just something that I was thinking about.
So I want to talk to you like specifically about that, right? So
yeah,
where you are in your train of thought and your mind frame, that's what's important, right? So like, and where I'm at, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm actually been going to therapy lately, you know what I'm saying? And where I'm at in my therapy right now is like, I hold on to stuff. You know what I'm saying? And where my therapist has been talking to me about is like, hey, Z, don't hold on to anything. When you feel a certain way, express how you feel. Tell people how you feel. If you're upset, tell people you're upset. If you're so-and-so, tell. So for me, like, your train of thought is like controlling your emotions. Where I'm at in my life right now is explaining things. So when you specifically said Will Smith felt like he was a coward because he didn't do anything for his mom, and you said you think that was an atonement for that, I see that all the way, because my thought is like, if I've already felt like I didn't do what I was supposed to do, the next time I get an opportunity, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna probably overreact.
Yeah.
And I apologize for it and say, man, you know what? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have reacted that way. But I guess what I'm not gonna feel? I'm not gonna feel guilt about me not doing something. I'm not gonna feel like a coward because I didn't stand up and protect my wife. And so my thing is like, my wife feeling protected and me feeling like I'm not a coward, and I said what was on my mind, and I got off how I felt. That's more important than anything.
Yeah. I get it. I completely get it, man. But the same, again, all I'm saying is there's a certain mature level that you can approach it with.
I think the big thing I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Because, and I say this, man, I'm gonna say this because, bro, there are people 6 feet under right now because they actually took that route. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I think that's and not saying that you're wrong, man, but I think that's over analyzing the situation, and it's not to say like everybody's going to act like that. I think for this specific situation, he acted and responded in a way that fit him, and he's not going to have no regrets about it. I'm super cool with that. Now,
and I can tell what you have. Regrets.
Yeah, I think what you have a problem with is
partying the same night.
I think the problem that you have is the way that Chris Rock was just disrespected in front of everybody, and that it happened in front of everybody, because that's not your nature. You know what I'm saying? Or that you felt like as people in their stature, you would have liked to see them handle this a different way, right? So I think that's what you're holding on to more than everything. And I could be wrong. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Who am I? I'm just Z. But my thought is like, if that was enough to make him feel like a man to himself and to make him feel like a man to his wife, who am I to question that? Like, if my wife is feeling amazing because her husband protected her, and I'm feeling like I stood up for my wife, what other reason do we have for that? Like, where do you tell me that's wrong?
Hey, listen, again, it's the way you go about doing it. There's always a way you can do things. It's the same. It's the same thing we tell people like, when people be talking about, well, you know what I mean? I got to actually say how I feel no matter what. But there's a way you can say how you feel without it coming off as I'm about to hurt everybody in this pathway that's about to hear this speech.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm trying to say is, yeah, speak your truth.
But so
Truth
this is what
power.
I think.
Speak
this
it.
This is what I think. I think
there's a way you can go about doing it.
When I think if you look at a full spectrum of everything, I believe you have 25% people who's like, hey, I wish he wouldn't have did Chris Rock like that in front of everybody. You have 25% of people who are being like, Will Smith protected his wife and did what he was supposed to do. Then you have that middle where people are like, hey, I can see what Will Smith did. I hate that he did it to Chris Rock. I think, but what you have for most of everybody wishes that it could have handled. I think everybody wishes it could have been handled in a different way. I think maybe 25-15% people was like he needed to slap him or that's what he get. But like for the most part, even
Chris Rock already.
Yeah, I think for the most part, even when you see people who was like, you know what I'm saying, I understand why Will Smith did what he did. They even be like, I wish he could have did it a different way. You know what I'm saying? And then the people that are upset about it was like, he didn't have to do that. So I think when you look at the situation, everybody agrees Chris Rock said something he shouldn't have said. And everybody agrees that Will Smith shouldn't have took the action the way he took the action. And then I think outside of those two things that are definite, probably for most everybody in this situation, I think everything else is up in the air. And I think that's where you get the variations of opinions and people think this and people think that.
Yeah,
but I think everything else is like just crazy. And it's crazy to see how people are spinning it and taking
it. Hey man, so I did have one more thing, man, before we get off of here. Another way to actually look at this, because I sent you this question actually, and I was like, this happened between and people can say, man, you can't see race in everything, but I definitely see race in a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to two black males at the Oscars. Because I'm sorry, it just doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
But I said this, man, one of my initial reactions was, man, can you imagine if he did this to a white comic? What if this was Jerry Seinfeld? What if this was Adam Sandler on stage and Will Smith got up there and slapped him? What do you think the response would be? And I guarantee you, and it gets to a deeper issue that I feel like people gloss over all the time. And that is, as black men, we are always looked at in a certain light. If this were to have happened, I feel like if this would have happened, and because white people act just like everybody else, it's just that when it comes to us, they always look at us like, and I see people talk like, oh, this is the blackest the Oscars ever. I'm like, nah, man, please don't say that. Don't include us with ratchetness like that. You know what I mean? But I swear, and I feel like this, and I definitely feel like this, is that if Will Smith did this to a white comic, I feel like the backlash would have been a heck of a lot more than what it is right now. You know what I'm saying? I personally feel that way. I feel like they would have looked at it and been like, oh my God, oh, you just can't do that. It just would have been a lot more vitriol towards Will, because right now I do feel like it's 50-50, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like, some people are like, I understand what he did, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But I honestly feel like if it was not Chris Rock that this happened to, if this was just some, you know what I'm saying, Ricky Gervais or whatever his name is, there would be a different reaction. And it may be, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like it would just be a completely different story we'd be seeing right now.
I agree. I think if this would have been a white comedian, it would have been a whole different story. So I definitely agree with that. But I think when you bring up, or when you put it in that context, what I think is too, if it was a white comedian, they wouldn't have said that joke.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And that's the thing. It's kind of like let's, you know what I'm saying? If we're gonna have, like, tonight we're having real conversations, let's have a real conversation. Like I could call a random woman fat today. You know what I'm saying? It might not be the right thing to say. It might be you know what I'm saying? It might be terrible timing. It might not be cool, but I'm like, hey, she's fat. You know what I'm saying? And it might hurt her feelings a little bit, and she might not like it. But I can guarantee you, when she goes over her grandma's house, her aunties, her cousins, they're gonna call her fat too. And I'm not saying they're gonna call her fat too, but they might call her fat. But that's gonna hurt in a different way from me calling her fat because they're on the inside. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that we like. So the thing is like, well, it would have been different if it was a white comedian, but a white comedian wouldn't have said that. And so the thing is too, like, so since we black, you feel like since we're all black, you could probably say that was super disrespectful what he said.
Yeah,
that was out of line what he said. And so my thing is like, you think he would have said that to a white actor whose wife was going through a medical condition?
Okay, here's my, again, I gotta say this. Chris Rock is a comedian, and he has said some stuff to other people. He's, I mean, roasted white, black, Mexican, everybody. And so if we're gonna start taking these comedians like this, and it's just they can't say anything and restricted, or they have to do their research on stuff, I just feel like that's too much. But
do you think any
the best
comedian
thing, here's my thing.
Sorry.
I think the best thing we can do with comedians, if they say something that's out of line, just boo them. Tell them that the joke isn't funny, and I guarantee you they'll start removing it from their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you react to a comedian. You don't react to a comedian by slapping them in the face. I mean, unless, again, this is like a continuous thing and you decide, hey, man, I'm giving you the option right now. Let you know if you say one more thing about this, this is going to happen. I guarantee you they can make the decision. But I think the best thing you can do with comedians is to just cut the oxygen out from the joke, and they'll remove that joke from their stand-up. They will. They'll be like, oh, that one is not working, so let me move on to something else.
What's the difference between a stand-up and what happened last night, though? A stand-up is in a room with 100 people or a stadium with 13,000 people. He done said something about this man's wife in front of 18, 20, 30, in front of the world, bro. So I think you can't equate it with like a comedy show. So to me, I don't think you can equate it to a comedy show. And then my second question would be, how many comedians you think they got their ass whooped for saying something like this?
A bunch.
Do you don't think no comedian ever got slapped in the face for saying something out loud?
A bunch. I just don't think it's happening. I just don't think it's happening on stage.
I bet you if we had a conversation with any comedian right now, they'll tell you like, bro, there was a night I said something and I probably shouldn't have said it, and I had to fight my way out of it. Or there was like, you know what? When I say what I say, I know. We was watching a special on about Fat Tuesdays in LA. And I don't know who, but it was one of the comedians, and they said like it was Guy Tori. It was Guy Tori. They said Guy Tori was no, you know what I'm saying? That's what he did. He roasted people. He was famous for roasting people, just like D.L. Hughley. But they said like if people had a problem with it, they could come and see him. And he said he whooped. It was like he who whooped everybody who had a problem with it. So the thing is like he knew his brand of comedy was going to bring altercations. And so my thought is like, man, maybe some comedians need to know like, hey, bro, you could be funny without insulting somebody. You don't have to insult somebody's wife to be funny. And if you have to insult somebody for you to be funny, maybe comedian is not what you should do.
I don't know, man. I just feel like that brand of comedy has been out there since forever and a day.
And roasting people have probably been getting beat up for forever and a day behind that brand of comedy.
Well, hey, it's gonna stay out there as long as people laughing. When people stop laughing, then it won't stay out there. That's all I'm saying. I mean, that's how you get it back.
My thought is, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like if a comedian said something to me that I found out of line, that I just be like, boo. Like, to me, man, if we went somewhere and you said something about my keloids, it might be an issue. I might not be just like boo or just get up and leave. No, you said something purposely hurtful to hurt me. And now I feel like I have to hurt you too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. My thing is I'm not going to judge. Buddy. I'm not going to judge his reaction, man. I wish he wouldn't have slapped this man in front of everybody. I felt so bad. I guess we ain't even really talked about the Chris Rock part. I felt bad for Chris Rock, man, because you know what I'm saying? That is his brand of comedy, and that's what he does. You know what I'm saying? I wish he would have found a better way or talked about something different, man. But it's like, I hate that happened to him. You know what I'm saying? That man got kids and probably a girlfriend, he got an ex-wife or something, man. And to face the world like, after that is a terrible thing. And I don't wish that on anyone.
I mean, I can only imagine what his kids is feeling like.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
you know
hope they're
how Will
adults.
Smith's
I hope they're adults.
Will Smith's kid actually tweeted out, this is, you know what I'm saying, this is how we do things. Well, I can imagine his kid being like, oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
In France, if that's where you're gonna be at. Boudoir. Get ready to take this slap. No, man. You talk about comedy, man.
I just really hate it for Chris Rock, man. I wish he wouldn't have did the joke. You know what I'm saying? I wish he wouldn't have got slapped, but like we keep on, like I keep saying, because that's what bro, sometimes if you gonna say some stuff out of line, something might happen to you that's out of line.
We'll see how it goes, man. I don't think that the brand of comedy is going anywhere though. I mean, that goes back to, you remember Robin Harris?
Bro, he was on the special. He was on the special about the Fat Tuesday he was watching, and they said Robin Harris was in a club,
used to go ham
in South Central, and said he would do this nightly, and dudes would just be like, well, and they said he was like fearless about it, and that's the thing, he knew what could come with it.
What can you say, man? So anyway, bro, all right, yo.
So what?
Any other?
So the reaction that I hated the most was Stephen A. Smith, because I hate him.
You hate him.
I feel like he did the same thing Puffy did. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Will Smith did this, is BS, is so and so and so and so. And I'm like, bro, don't insert yourself in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way he acted was unbecoming of an actor of his nature. You know what I'm saying? You're a reporter. Report like a reporter. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really like that at all. I did like Shannon Sharp though today. He was like, let me tell you.
Well, I think Shannon and Will, Shannon and Stephen A, they pretty much said the same thing, if you ask me. The only thing Shannon said was, now I will agree with Shannon Sharp on this. Shannon was like, hey, if I was Chris, I'll whoop your ass.
Yeah. He said, and it would have been on every time I seen him, it would be on site.
It would be on site.
And I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my thought is like, if you thought he was out of line, say he's out of line. You know what I'm saying? But to be like, just Stephen A's reaction, you know what I'm saying? It just, something about it bothered me. Whereas Shannon Sharp was just like, look, if he would have did that to me, he would have had to see me every time. You know what I'm saying? And
every time.
I'm totally cool with that. Because if a man slapped me, chances are we gonna have to. I think I texted that to like Robin in the time, like, bro, you open hand slap me on TV. Oh, we would have had to fight. I would have jumped on him right then. We would have came back out. They was like, oh, Zeta ran up out the stage again and dove on Will Smith. Like, somebody get this dude because he is acting a fool.
Bro, yeah. It would have been like the Malice in the Palace.
Bro. Water bottles, at the Oscar, wine glasses, Oscar trophies. Bro.
Man, I'm grabbing everything. Mike's. You're gonna take this L.
And then when I see him at the after party, man, it's like we didn't even get nothing out. Bro, we have established that we're gonna fight the next 5 or 6 times I see you.
Yeah. Oh. Oh man. Yes. Bro,
I seen
on national TV. He didn't actually get, man. It's one thing to be like, I'm gonna go up to you and just buck. You know what I'm saying? What?
Yeah.
No, the man went up to him, gave him the 5-finger
to the face.
To the face. Oh, there was a point too where I felt like Chris. If you listen to the thing one more time, there was a point like right in between her. He was like, "Oh God, yes." Okay, hold on, never mind. You know what I'm saying? Where I think Chris was about to say something or do something. He kind of caught himself back then. He was like, "Oh, okay, never mind." Jesus, it was like right in between where he was like, Will Smith just slapped me on national TV. Oh,
what I saw was he got slapped. And he said, "Oh my God, Will Smith just smacked me on national TV." And then Will Smith sat down and he yelled at him. He said, "I won't say nothing." And he was like, "I won't say nothing." And then they went back to the thing and he started reading, but he couldn't follow. Like, he was struggling to read the thing.
It was right before that though.
He was struggling to read the thing. And then they started showing the movies. Like, they showed the movies that was in the documentaries, and they came back. His eyes were like water, like it looked like he wanted to cry. Like he really wanted he wanted to cry. And then, like, when Questlove came out and won the award and they all walked off, like, he was rolling his eyes and he was just like, you could see in his face, he was like, I can't believe like he slapped me. Like he was still in disbelief. Like,
Yeah.
and me and my wife was talking about, you ever seen somebody get hit and they can't believe they got hit, and it's like they can't, like it's like they're stuck. Like, I just got hit, and it felt like he was stuck in the spot. Like, I can't believe. Wait a minute, I got like, I don't know. It was crazy.
Terrible. I don't know, man. Oof. All right, bro. Any any other thoughts on everything that's went down, man? Again, we had to break on this one because it was just too much going on. It was just
let me tell you what. Like, no matter how you feel about the situation, like if you feel Will Smith was right, you feel he was wrong. I think the points you said about Jada, that is amazing. Like, if you can find that, I definitely want to post that on I want to post that on like Facebook.
And like, hold on one second, because I really do want to find this quote because it was so good, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes!"
Yeah, that quote was like amazing.
What I'm thinking,
but I think no matter what side of this issue you was on, you tell me. Let me tell you what happened today. The internet did not disappoint us. When I'm telling you about the memes and the drawings and the videos that I seen today, man, the internet won again.
Bro, there were so many memes, man. So what was your favorite meme that you saw today, man? Or what was one of them?
Man, the Will Smith as Ike Turner. Did you see that one? The Will Smith as Ike Turner? Yeah. And then
look back, yeah,
Will
I saw
Smith
that one.
Is Aladdin with his hands. Like, he looked like that. The one when it was like Chris Rock backstage, and it was like Kevin Hart was like, "Did he slap me? I know he didn't slap me." Oh, like, bro.
Oh yes. Now that was hilarious, man. When
and then Alika posted something that was like it was something like a Baptist church, like, I need somebody to stand. It was something to do with the church, and I was like, what? Like, bro, ooh, they were out and about today. It was all the way crazy today, man. There was so many good ones, man, that I can't even think like off the top of my head, but they definitely did not disappoint today. When life hits you hard, I pray that God gives you the strength of Chris Rock to keep standing.
Oh,
bro,
that's terrible,
bro.
Okay, so man, here's the one I saw too. It said, "I wish she would have protected him publicly the way he protected her publicly." And the person who posted it went in on just how everything from the August stuff with the entanglement.
Oh no, hold on. Okay, finish your thing, and then I got a thought about that too.
Well, so that one, and then somebody else posted this, man, and I thought this was cool too. They said Will Smith's behavior is proof oftentimes that we take our anger on everyone except for the person we're actually angry at. And I was like, bingo. Because I can feel that to me too. It wasn't just the Chris Rock joke. I feel like we started off talking about when he said it during his book as well too. I feel like the Chris Rock thing is indicative of something major, something else major that's going on within him. And this was just that tipping point where it just popped out. So anyway, go ahead, man. What you about to say?
Well, my thought, I seen a lot of people be like, well, Will Smith hit Chris Rock, but he didn't hit August Alsina. And I'm thinking like, well, that's not really his. I don't really understand the correlation in that, because the thing is, like, my wife cheated. Like, I'm not going to be, you're never mad at the person. You're mad at your wife. Your wife is that's who you went into a union with. That's who you have a relationship with. August Alsina owes you nothing. He doesn't, he has no, I mean, other than, I know he was like Jaden's homeboy or something like that, but outside of that, he don't really owe you nothing. So why would you slap him? I'm not mad at him. He's a man. If a man does something with your wife, you gonna be mad at the man? Now I'll be mad at my homeboy for doing something with my wife because he knew the situation. You know what I'm saying? I'll be mad at my friend doing something with my wife because he knew the situation. I'm not gonna be mad at a random stranger doing something with my wife, because that's what you expect of men. For me, my thought is like, so why would he slap that man? That has nothing to do with his situation. That's a situation between him and her.
Well, Z, I'm respectfully disagree with you, sir. I will say this much: if something happened with just let me explain. If my wife decided to cheat on me, I'll be mad at her and the dude. Thank you very much. Sorry. Yeah, I have no qualms about saying that either. I feel like that is.
I'm not saying I'm
no,
gonna
I'm
be
just
happy
saying because I heard people say that all the time, and I feel like that's some macho, excuse my language, BS. Because if you walked in on your wife doing something with some other dude, you ain't gonna sit there and be like, "I'm sorry,
That's
sir, you
different.
can just leave real quick. I have to talk to my wife." No, you're
Mm-mm.
gonna be like, "Oh, what y'all doing? Oh,
No.
y'all got. Oh, y'all. Ooh, okay. Let's see what's gonna happen here because both of y'all can get the business." I'm sorry, that's y'all got me messed up. It's not just you. Both of y'all got me messed up.
No, this is my thought, man. Like,
I think people be on that too much.
If I walked
I ain't
into
gonna
my
be mad
house,
at him. Yes, you are.
Yeah, if I walked into my house and something was happening, definitely everything is at
everybody,
everything is on the table at that moment.
Everybody go get this business.
But my thought is like, I'm not definitely saying like if my girlfriend cheated with, if my girlfriend cheated with my homeboy, I think your homeboy and your friends is a different thing than just like a regular random dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna be happy with the dude. I'm not gonna high five and be like, "Way to put your game down, buddy." Like,
good job, bro.
But my thing is, I'm not gonna go and fight this dude unless he did something like super disrespectful, like to me. Like, I expect a man to want to be with a woman. If my girlfriend or my wife entertained that, I have nothing. You know what I'm saying? I could be mad at him, bro, why would you do that? But I'm not gonna go and fight him. Like, my wife cheated, I'm gonna whoop his ass. That don't make sense to me. Like, now if it was my homeboy or my cousin or a best friend or somebody who knows my situation, that's a different thing. But a random stranger, dude, I can't expect him to have no loyalty to me. So that's just my
I hear what you.
Yeah,
yeah, you're right. And I'm talking about just the whole. I ain't gonna be mad at him.
Oh, I'm not. Trust me, it won't be high fives and way to go, players. You know what I'm saying? Way to get in there and do your thing, homeboy. No, it's not gonna be none of them.
Yeah,
not at all.
Oh man. All right, man. So anything else, man, you wanted to bring through it? Any other opinions on this?
I think that was the biggest thing because they kept on saying he didn't slap August, like he just did it because it was Chris Rock, and I was like, we act like he ain't the Fresh Prince. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then before I go, how many times can y'all continue to disrespect the man? When he was rapping, he wasn't a real, he ain't gangster. He was soft, he did comedy. Like, y'all been punking Will Smith for years. So all of a sudden he stand up and be like, F it. And then y'all be like, don't do that, please.
That's too much. Where did that come from, Will?
Yeah. The Fresh Prince is out here slapping people.
He actually talked about that in his book too. Like, that's one of the things that he felt like was he used to get so mad at. The people was like, oh, you the safe one.
Yeah, like you're not like mad. One of them. Yeah. The things, you know what I'm saying? Like, what did I know? Tom posted something last week and he says, like, you were one of the good ones. Like, what? What does that mean?
Hey, I don't care what anybody say, man. Everybody got a little, well, not everybody, but most of us got a little hood in them. Just take something to bring it out.
Bro,
saying.
Totally like off subject, and I know we're gonna end soon, but man, like I was at work today, walking around work, and there's a little dude, man, can't be 18, 19, maybe 20, maybe even 21, but he's just randomly roaming, and he's not committing to a side and where he's walking. So I'm walking behind him, and I said, excuse me. He said, you're excused. I laughed really loud and I walked away.
That's
laughed really loud and I walked away. I think that's the decorum that you was talking about. When you're in a certain environment, you have to act a different way.
Now, I will say this because there has been times, and so just to give you a quick little response back to that, times where I was at work, you open the door for somebody, especially young Karen, and they'll be like, and just walk straight through. I'll be like, thank you too.
Yep.
And then there's sometimes I'm just like, I'll just walk away and be like, all right, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not worth it. But yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but I'm not Will Smith. I don't get paid $50 million for a movie. If I got paid $50 million for a movie, I'd have probably threw that little dude all over the shelves today.
But would you do that to The Rock, not Chris?
Oh,
Rock,
did you see what you saw? Oh, you saw what Marshall posted. Let me
Marshall's post.
I'm
I was
sorry,
like,
because
yep,
like
exactly.
everybody
Will
don't
would've
know
been
who
like,
Marshall is. Let me see. So one of our homeboys who, man, he posted, he said his wife is named Ruby, obviously. He said, I got a feeling this conversation with Ruby, his wife is coming. Would you slap somebody for me like Will did for Jada? And he was like, it all depends. And she was like, depends on what? He said, depends on if it's Chris Rock or The Rock.
now if I was packing my 45, then
Yeah.
you know, hey,
You ain't gonna run up on The Rock and smack him?
I smack him and kind of step back a little bit and make sure he knew what I got in my pocket. Yeah, that way you ain't coming back at me, boy.
Yeah.
Get your big butt down real quick.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no. All right, man. Yeah, so it's thank y'all for peeping us out, man. We just wanted to give a quick little response on everything that's been going on. Share our little opinions and sides of things from chopping it up with G and Z. Z, you got anything else before we get out of here, man?
No, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank y'all for hearing our little opinions, our little 2 cents, listening to our little jokes, as we said earlier. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Google, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast.
Roll with us, babe. Roll with us. All right, man. Be easy.
All right, bro. Have a good night now.
All right now.